Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program Question Time, and I'm your host Dureshawar Zaidi. Viewers, you can watch this program every Saturday 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. inshallah, and the topic is always related to some religious principles, and inshallah every week we will come up with some new topic. This week we will continue with our last week's topic, which is prophethood, inshallah, and right now we have at our studios our Alimuddin Maulana Abbas Mirza Sahab, who will be here to discuss the issues on all the questions and all the aspects of prophethood, and viewers can benefit from the discussion inshallah. And then we will have some after the break inshallah we will have some continue with the same topic but with some different aspect. So viewers, before I move to the program, forward to the program, I introduce you to Maulana Abbas Mirza, our Alimuddin, and who is here at the studios to answer the questions and to satisfy your religious needs inshallah, and he will be here to discuss on this topic. Assalamu alaikum Maulana Sahab, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Maulana Sahab, as you know, last week we were discussing the different aspects and different form of infallibility of the prophets, right? So in continuation with that, I have some questions. So if the prophets are infallible, why do they seek forgiveness?
Yes, it's a very good question. Prior delving into that question that you have asked, I would just like to point out to few terminologies that we often tend to make a mistake in understanding how the Quran is using. For example, you have a sin being known as zam, in the Quran. Zalamtu nafsi, for example, as we say, right? Zam. Or
Okay.
La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minadh dhalimin. Right. So there is zam, which is zalimin, which sometimes not necessarily means a sin. Okay, a sin is something that when a person refuses to carry out an act that is wajib, that is something obligatory upon him, and that person is not carrying that act out, that becomes a sin. Yeah.
Okay.
But the Quran also uses the term dham, which or usyan, for example, being rebellious, in wider application as well, in a wider sense as well. So dham in the Quran could mean a sin, right? And it could also mean, for example, a person who is committing not an act that is wajib upon him or haram, but something it doesn't fit him to commit, which is considered as tarkul awla, meaning that an act which doesn't befits him to commit. It is not a sin that he carries that act out. However, it could be considered that it doesn't suit him to do that.
Tarki awla.
Tarki awla.
Oh, okay.
Just an example. I'm sitting here with I'm considered as a Maulana, so to speak, right? I'm the religious head. I lead prayers. Can I lead my prayer wearing my tank top and maybe jeans, or t-shirt, a red t-shirt with yellow jeans, I come to the masjid and I lead prayers. Is it halal or haram? It's not haram. I mean, one can wear that clothes as long as my body is covered.
Yeah.
But it's not proper. It doesn't fits my standards, so to speak, being a Maulana or leading a community, right? So that is tarkul awla. Like for example, Hazrat Yusuf did not stand up from his throne when his father entered. It's not a sin that he did not stand up, right? But he should have. So God kind of punishes him in a way by taking the prophecy from his lineage, for example, right? So the prophets.
So he committed a tark awla by not standing
not
in it as a sign of respect for his father.
Right.
Oh,
right.
so tark awla was committed by him.
Right.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not a sin.
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
Prophet Yunus says, "Zalamtu la ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min adh-dhalimin wa dhannun idh dhahaba mughadiban fadhanna an naqdir alayhi fanada fi adh-dhulumat an la ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni
kuntu min adh-dhalimin."
Now, min adh-dhalimin, the dham, when Yunus alayhi salam left his people after guiding, it's not a sin that he has done. He left them, because he was fed up of them.
Fed up of them.
He has tried to guide
yeah.
them. But Allah kind of, shakes him up. And he says, yes, you have not committed a sin, but it is expected of you to be patient. So as he realized that it is accepted of him to be patient, he says, Inni kuntu min al-dhalimin. He seeks forgiveness. This is not a sin. So when you're saying why they seek forgiveness. No, sin is where, for example, na'uzubillah, Prophet's time for prayer comes, he's sleeping. Or na'uzubillah, the Prophet indulges in something that is haram. That is a sin. Not carrying out an act which doesn't fit him, for example. A Prophet must have patience. He shouldn't have got sort of so, how should I say, restless. Sort of, he should have that temper with his people. So Quran tend to use same terminology, but not in the sense of a sin, but in the sense of tarkul awla, in the sense of an act which befits him.
So this Prophet Yunus, this losing temper with his people, also was considered as tarkul awla.
As a tarkul awla, him being not patient and giving them a chance was tarkul awla. He left them like that. Or for example, Hazrat Adam, going near the tree and having
eating the forbidden fruit.
Yes. Although God have not asked him as a wajib, like how aqimus salat is.
Yes.
I said avoid going to that tree. Do not go near that tree. Plus, on the other hand, they were living in Jannah, and Jannah doesn't have anything. There's no taklif. There's no responsibility as such in Jannah. As it is, as we have it here in this dunya. So Quran tend to use this same term for tarkul awla as well. Now, going back onto the question, when the ma'sumin, the imams, seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the sins, for them sin is relative. Sin is a relative term. For them, even not doing full tawajjuh towards God is considered as a sin.
Okay.
Tell me, which is the best state for a human being? The best state for a human being is that he is in sajda all his life.
Subhanallah.
Right? That's how he wants to be, in sajda all the time to his ma'bud. Right? And he's closest to his ma'bud when he's sajda. The closest position that an abd could be to ma'bud is the sajda. Right?
Yeah.
So now obviously, we eat, we drink, we sit, we sleep, we speak to people, right? But we are not doing sajda, right? Which is the best of act. So for ma'sumin, they always want to be in that state of nearness to God, So for them, a bit of tawajjuh, a bit of focus, other than God, they say that, they feel very sad and they seek forgiveness for that. So them seeking forgiveness is that.
Oh, okay.
It's not the sins that they are committing. They are seeking forgiveness for their tawajjuh being away from their Lord.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
To from a level of 10 to maybe level of 8, maybe level of 7.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, mashallah, what a good explanation. Subhanallah. So this is what it means, like when the Prophet.
Like for example, if you look at the story of Amirul Mu'mineen, most of the viewers are aware of that. The story of Amirul Mu'mineen, where Amr ibn Abdawat spits on the mouth of Imam Ali alayhi salam.
Yeah.
This is jihad. Imam Ali kill him, no problem. You know, he is the enemy, it's jihad, and he kills him, that's okay. But Imam Ali did not, right? Did not kill him because
he came down from his chest and then
right. Although his act, what he's doing, you know, what he's doing is the act of jihad, but he wanted that to be 100%. You know. Yeah.
Okay. MashaAllah. Thank you very much, Maulana, for such a beautiful, wonderful explanation, MashaAllah. So why does Quran say that Prophet's previous and future sins will be forgiven? Previous and future sins. Could you please explain this to our viewers? And I would also want to add something to this. That this is about all the prophets or just our last prophet, Prophet Muhammad?
This is in Surah Fat.
Okay.
In Surah Fat, you have a verse which talks about that Prophet, you know, Allah may forgive you what in past of your sin. Allah may forgive you what is past of your sin and what is to come. In Surah Fat, verse number 1. It talks about that Allah will forgive you or your sins in the past and your sins in the future. Okay. And now this zam, once again this zam, as we said, this zam, this sin is used by the Quran in accordance to what the idol worshippers thought of not believing in the idols as a sin. You see, the idol worshippers, they said Prophet is committing a sin by not believing
in their ideology.
In their ideology.
Okay.
And now Prophet is going back, as the Quran promises that indeed we have inaugurated for you a clear victory. Inna fatahna laka al-fathal mubina. Now Prophet is going with this Fatah Mubin. In the future, what is he going to do? He's going to break the idols, which is a sin according to their ideology. Right?
Yeah.
So according to their ideology, it is a sin which the Prophet have done, and it will be a sin in the future by breaking the idols. Inna fatahna laka al-fathal mubina. After that victory, Prophet is entering Fatah Makkah. He will go into the Kaaba and will break those idols, which is a sin according to their ideology. So what the Quran is trying to, some of the exegetes say that what the Quran is trying to point out here is that the zam of the previous and zam of the future, according to them, it is forgiven for the Prophet. You know, yeah.
Okay, so this
because
is
of the conquest of Makkah.
Okay, so this is in this context that Allah has revealed this ayat to Prophet in this context. Okay, so breaking the idols, breaking the idols.
Right. It's according to their context. Yeah.
Okay.
It's from their angle. It's from their point of view.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, mashallah, Maulana. Okay, then now I have to come up with more questions, and I'm sure the viewers must also would like to know the answer to it. So could you please explain? While Musa, Prophet Moses, why does Moses say, I went astray and I committed a crime? Why does he say in which condition?
I mean, this is in Surah Shu'ara. It talks about this, you know, verse number 14 and verse number 20, where Musa alayhi salam kills the Coptic, the Qibti. You know, he bangs him, you know, with one blow, for example, and he died. And this is when the Bani Israel were there, or the Jews were living there in a very bad situation, and Pharaoh and Moses was still a prince, and whenever he would visit them, you know, things were staged to Moses that everything is normal, everything is good. When Moses used to visit the neighborhood of Jews as a prince from Pharaoh ministry, things looked very merry, things looked very good, very nice. Because now when Moses visited that neighborhood in a disguise, he wasn't wearing the clothes of a prince. Then he goes, you know, in a normal clothes, in hiding, in a disguiseful way, and then he saw something else. He saw how the Pharaoh and the people of Pharaoh were doing zulm upon his people, upon the Yahud.
Okay.
And this made Moses very sad and very upset, because he came to know that they're suffering. And obviously he was from them. And then when he saw that this Coptic is doing zulm, is upon his people, upon a Yahud, and this other person, the Yahud, is trying to rectify, tell him what is right. He wasn't listening and he was attacking him. Finally Moses intervenes, and then he sort of boxes the guy, the person who was doing the zulm. And
Prophet Moses was trying to save the people from this guy's
yes, of zulm, from this person's
oppression,
zulm, oppression. And then he intervenes, he comes and he sort of like hits him, and with this one hit he dies. So first of all,
it was not his intention.
It was not his intention, right?
It was not.
That's number one. Now number two, the Quran. When the Quran says that, and they have charge against me, or when the Quran says that I was astray, when Fir'aun kind of inquires about this murder, when Fir'aun says to his followers, and Musa says I was astray. Yes, I was astray. I was in zalal, or I was led in astray according to your calculation. For you, killing of a person is a zulm. However, I have no intention to kill him, number one. Number two, I have gone astray. When he's saying that I was astray, is either to pretend to be in agreement with Pharaoh, because you are saying I was gone astray. So he's trying to agree with what Pharaoh is saying. It's a discussion between Pharaoh and Moses. He's saying, Moses says, I was gone astray. According to you, I was gone astray. According to you, I committed a crime. According to you, I was charged. Plus, on the other hand, Moses had no choice but to run away, because Pharaoh was looking forward to basically corner Moses, arrest Moses, and persecute Moses. Because of his ministers, they were advising that you are doing too much favor to Moses. You have given him too much favor. He's not your son, but you are still giving him too much favor. Now they wanted a mistake. They wanted Moses to commit a mistake by which they could persecute him.
So they got a chance. So when Moses does this act, so they got a chance to to accuse him.
Right? And basically to accuse him of a murder and to punish him. And to charge him. So as they have a charge against them, right? And as they have a charge against them, they will use this charge to really persecute him without listening to what Moses have to say. So according to Pharaoh, Moses have gone astray. So Moses is repeating what he believes in. I have gone astray.
What the Pharaoh believes in.
Right.
Okay. So Prophet Moses was repeating his words actually.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Maulana. Mashallah, very good explanation.
Because he was unaware. Someone who is unaware of the result, right? He is in zalal. See, someone who doesn't know of the result, what will happen, he is lost. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He is lost. Astray is lost. So when Moses is saying, I was lost, meaning that Moses was unaware of the result, what will happen. So he was lost. He was unaware of the result, what will happen. He wasn't aware that this hit will kill him. So someone who is in zalal means that he is lost. So Moses was unaware of the result that it will happen. That's what Moses is saying. Moses is not saying that I was lost, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I was lost, what I did. No, Moses was lost of the result. What result will come?
Okay, mashallah. Thank you very much, Maulana. And okay, there's one more question I need to ask about this Prophet's fear of people. Why did Prophet fear people, although he should only fear God?
Yes.
He doesn't need to fear people, because God is always with him, and so why does he need to fear people?
Right. I think this is in regards to the divorce wife of Zayd. Prophet married the divorced wife of Zayd, and the verse comes in Surah Ahzab which says that, and you feared the people. Prophet is addressed to the Prophet, and saying, you feared the people, though Allah is worthier that you should fear Him. You should have feared Allah, not the people. Now, what Allah is trying to say here is that Prophet is afraid of the people's misunderstanding of him marrying his own daughter-in-law. Zayd is the adopted son of the Prophet.
Okay.
Zainab is the wife of Zayd.
Zayd, all right.
It is not working out between Zayd and Zainab. And Allah have asked that he should marry the wife of Zayd.
Okay, this was Allah's orders.
Yes.
Okay.
And Prophet was afraid that if I marry, people will...
He was afraid of the community. Of
the community. People will sort of like misunderstand the Prophet. Not because he's afraid of them, but because him being a Prophet. Because during the time of the Jahiliyyah, it was haram to marry your daughter-in-law. Right? For them, it was like that. So it is going against the values and culture of the Arabs to do that.
Okay.
Now we are talking about daughter-in-law who is of an adopted
son, not his real
own
son.
No,
not his own
not his
son,
real,
not his real.
His
Just
adopted son.
Yeah.
Still, as a culture, by the Arabs was considered like that.
Okay.
So now, for a Prophet, we are talking about, this is Medina here. We are talking about where Islam is quite established, and now it's his reputation, delivery of Quran.
The roots of
message,
Islam are becoming stronger, of course.
Right. So the Prophet was afraid of people from that point of view. Not that Nauzubillah is afraid of, but it was but God knows, and it was more important to break this custom, and that is why God ordered.
That is why God ordered.
Ordered the Prophet to carry out this act.
Okay. So because he wanted to give a set an example for the people that this act, doing this act, is not is not a sin.
No. Right.
It's acceptable in Islam.
Right.
So that is the message that God was trying to give through this act of our Prophet. Why does God seem to be disappointed or express disapproval to the Prophet?
Yes, this is one of those questions that always the youth tend to ask me. This is in Surah Tawbah, as you recite in Surah Tawbah, may Allah excuse you, why did you grant them leave? People will come to the Prophet and would ask for leave, not to go in the jihad, not to go in the holy war. And Prophet will excuse them. And God in return reveals the verse.
They were asking for excuses not to go for jihad.
Not to go for jihad. And
the youth of that time.
The people of that time. Some of the people of that time would ask for excuses not to attend jihad to the Prophet. And the Prophet will grant them. The Prophet will give them the reason, the respite, will allow them not to attend. So in return, God says that, why did you do that? May Allah excuse you for doing that. O Prophet, may Allah forgive you, so to speak. May Allah excuse you for you granting them, that
permission,
not to go.
Yeah.
Right? And Allah is questioning that. Why do you grant them leave? Right?
Okay. So Allah was unhappy on
this. This is what they are saying. This is what the people think, that Allah is disapproving. Allah is disappointed in what the Prophet have done by allowing them not to attend to the war. Right? Or in other words, they say, "O Prophet, why do you prohibit yourself what Allah has made lawful for you, seeking to please your wives?" Prophet liked honey, and one of the wife, she complained of the bad breath. And Prophet said, "It is haram." Prophet prohibited it. So now God is kind of like showing his disappointment, his disapproval of what Prophet is doing. Why do you make something that is halal for you haram to please your wife? You see what I mean? So this is like a disapproval of God. This is like a disappointment of God, that God is saying, why do you do that? Right? So this means that Nauzubillah, Prophet is making a mistake. That's the question, right? Does that really mean that? All right. Or this actually is pointing out to the nature of the Prophet. This is also actually pointing out to that how Prophet is so humble. is so kind, is so merciful. Rather, a disapproval and disappointment from God, Allah is praising the Prophet in a way. Allah is praising the Prophet in a way. Allah is saying that, why are you, like that verse in Surah Taha, I think, Surah Shura again, which says that you might kill yourself out of distress, that they will not have faith. Prophet will kill himself, meaning that he would try so much, he is stressing himself out, that the non-believers believe, that the non-believers have faith, right? The Prophet, they come for excuse for jihad. Prophet says, okay, fine, you go, don't come, no problem.
Okay.
The wife complained, they said, okay, I will make haram for you.
He was so humble actually, so he didn't want to disappoint the people living around him.
So now this is not the disappointment of God, but rather God is saying, oh Prophet,
thank you very much.
Why are you like this? Why are you doing like this? Right.
Thank you very much, Maulana. We need to go for a break, so inshallah we will continue after the break. So viewers, we need to take a short break. We'll be right back. Keep watching Question Time. Thank you very much.